In the Filipino music industry, only one person comes to mind when they hear the letter C. Fittingly enough, as much as it carries his name, it also perfectly captures his craft. A composer, a conductor, a cultural icon. Renowned for his versatility, his musical repertoire spans a multitude of genres, allowing him to collaborate with a diverse roster of local artists and work across various mediums. A true champion and icon of original Filipino music. Friends, our national artist for music, Maestro Ryan Cayabyab. Welcome to State of the Arts, Mr. C.
Thank you very much, Chris. So, you've been doing this, it's like a series of interviews.
It is a series of interviews, but we're so honored that you're joining us today.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
Well, Mr. C, needless to say, your legacy is forever etched in the Philippine music industry. And there's no better way to celebrate that than this coming tribute concert, GENC. What a perfect title for a concert. A great way to bring generations together through your music. You're collaborating with such great lineup of artists for this one. Can you share any insights into the collaborative process behind Gen Z, and what was it like working with all of these artists?
Definitely, they're not Gen Z, they're beyond Gen Z. I don't know what the next one is, Gen Alpha? Because I'm talking about the 22-year-old, these are young people.
Right.
And they're
Gen
singing,
X, I think.
I don't know what,
Right.
what it's called. And they're singing my songs, and they're interpreting it in a manner that is how they lived or how they were brought up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so interesting.
Mm.
I think songs for songs to live should be expressed in the way the generation will be able to express it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a past, because there's a certain acceptable practice to only perform certain pieces of material the way they were written.
Okay.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're actually respecting the composition.
Sure.
or the idea or the concept of the original concept of the composer.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another school of thought that says, but that's going to be so museum piece type because
Right.
you're not going to change anything. Then the other school of thought is reinterpreting, dressing it up differently in the way this generation would probably express it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it works both
Okay.
ways. It doesn't matter. You can express it the way you want. I will not be hurt if you turn my song into rock or something so out of this world. But then that's it. It's the way music lives on forever.
Sure.
Because eventually, someone will react and say, ang pangit ng ginawa niya, balik tayo doon sa dati.
Mm.
It's something like that. It's music, well, everything is reactive.
Okay.
In a way, you react to this and you work on it that way.
Speaking of new generation of talents, are there any recent music releases from the young artists you're collaborating with that have caught your attention or that you particularly enjoy?
I'm excited because finally I'm going to see Ben and Ben perform. Four members of the group Ben and Ben were in a workshop that we conducted. So in different times, like 2013, 14, maybe 2015, they were there. And they got together. And this is the first time I'm actually collaborating with them.
Okay.
In a show. So I'm looking forward to this. And if there's a song that Ben and Ben has written, it's the song Leaves. And it's a beautiful song. I can't believe that, during that time, their mentors were all big-time mentors. So talking of Ebe Dancel, South Border, all these composers, even Gary
Right.
Valenciano was there, etc. Now I can say their output is big or even larger than what the mentors had done before.
Okay.
But remember, the mentors had their time too.
Sure.
And it was so, their output was really huge and the market loved them. Now it's their time. This is like, you have to accept the fact that each generation will produce their
Correct.
own sound and their own heroes, their own artists, etc. So this is that time for me to be able to collaborate with the artists of this generation.
Looking back at all of your other previous concerts, what aspects of Gen Z do you feel set it apart and make it a must-see event for your audiences?
You know, the producers here, Celeste and Girly Rodis, they emphasize that this is Gen Z. So it's a generation. It's not a generation which has something to do with chronology, a time, etc. Because we want to express that your music is timeless,
Right.
and we really want to have the young people perform your songs. In the past, it's, well, not really the young people, but the people I always work with, the people who have, the artists who have originally sung the songs, etc. This time, we have a lot of young performers performing my song. And this is really an event for me because, again, as I told you, a new generation is singing my songs. And I'm very, very inspired. The only one in my generation in this performance is Basil Valdez.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, he's the original singer of Nais Ko and Paraisong Parasukat. That will be sung in the show. And he's the only one who will be singing it that way. Because all the rest, even Regine, those are not her originals, but she's performing them, these songs.
Nice.
Exciting.
Well, speaking of generations, as someone who's influenced generations of musicians, what advice do you have for aspiring composers and conductors looking to make their mark in the industry?
I have to tell them first my experience. And my experience is, if you're new in the industry and you're looking for a mark, look for an artist, singer. I'm talking about being a composer and maybe an arranger. Look for a singer who's also looking for his or her mark. Sabay kayo. You're a force of 2 or 3. Sabay kayo aangat. And if that is so, that's how I started. Which is why I was saying that I worked first with Victor Laurel, then I worked with Basil, sabay kami, and I also worked with Celeste, sabay kami. I mean, our ages are not very far apart. Now, yung mga bata, hanap ka rin kayo ng mga bata. Just look for your same age artists who share the same ideals, same dreams. Sabay kayo, and you create sabay.
Before we wrap up, I know our viewers are already getting excited. Would you be open to treating them to a sneak peek of Gen Z by sharing a brief performance?
Bawat araw sinusundan, di ka naman tumitingin, anong aking dapat gawin? It's the cocoa fruit of the cocoa tree from the cocoa palm family. Yeah.
Well, that concludes today's episode. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our Mr. C, the legendary Maestro Ryan Cayabyab, for joining and singing with us today. Your contributions to Filipino music and culture are immeasurable, and we're immensely grateful for the opportunity to learn from you today.
The show is on May 11 and 12 at the Samsung Performing Arts Theater. And I have a long list of guests, and I'm very sure they will enjoy performing with me. So I'd like to thank Celeste, Gurley, Melfred, and Aaron for producing the show. And I also like to thank Samsung for the grant. Maraming salamat sa inyo, Chris. This is such a special thing, you know, for us to have a grant to perform here. Wow. Thank you very much. And to all of you who are coming, maraming salamat.
Well, that has been an unforgettable episode. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next State of the Arts.